extra boost.
Good morning.
Well, yeah, it's almost. It's just like talking to water attendants, social workers, both the white housing officer. Oh, we don't do that. But it's Times Square. So it's Times Square. Call this number. Press option 7. But I didn't tell you. And then my social worker said, have you got all the paperwork for the chat? I was speaking to an organisation called F.R.O.G. And I actually invited the person to call to actually bear witness to everything that I said. And one thing
Who's been doing so well after his major op. And who else have we got here? I don't know everyone that's at the moment there, but welcome to all of us on this side as well. So it's lovely to come into the Lord's house and to just worship together. And we've got some children at the back. And you know, as I was praying about this morning, and I'd got something prepared, but you know how it happens. You sit there, and I was reading through the scriptures and praying about it, but I just knew that was not what the Lord wanted. So it's suddenly panic set in, and I thought, Lord, help. I've prepared. What do I do? Well, isn't it wonderful how the Lord steps in, and just when you're not expecting much, but much is given. And this is what he showed me. To begin our prayer was to read from Revelation. And you know what that book is about, don't you? All the symbols and signs and prophecies and flying things, and it's a hard book to get into, but we studied it last year through our Bible studies, and we were really blessed by that book. But just listen to what it says. I'm only going to read 2-3 verses. But it says, after this, and this is a vision, a dream, I saw a vast crowd, too great to count, from all nations, standing in front of the throne of God and before the Lamb, clothed in white, with palm branches in their hands, and they were shouting with a mighty shout. Excuse me, before the throne of God? I mean, we've come to worship the Lord here, haven't we? But we tend to creep in and be quiet, although we weren't very quiet this morning or wanted to sit down. But you know, before the throne of God, there's a lot of noise. So if you're waiting to go to heaven and expecting to be there one day, expect a lot of noise. And do you know what they were shouting? This salvation belongs to our God, who sits upon the throne, and to the Lamb. And that's the great shout of every Christian who is here. Salvation belongs to our God and to the Lamb. And salvation is ours through the Lamb as well. So we are part of that heavenly throng, not to sit here quietly, to be shy, but to let go and raise our voices and shout to the Lord. And all the angels were crowding around the throne and around the elders in front of the throne and falling face down before the throne and worshiping. Excuse me, has anybody here ever fallen down before the throne of God and worshipped? But do you know, my husband and I lived abroad, and through the prayers at the church, many people would be on their hands and knees praying. And so this is something that, if the Lord said to us, worship, often when we're singing, raise your hands to the Lord, people are standing with their hands down. Worship the Lord on your knees, but we're too embarrassed to do that. But do you know, this is the heavenly worship here before the throne and worshiping God and saying amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might, whoa, and the list goes on, be to our God forever and ever. Amen. That is the heavenly worship. And I'm going to pray this morning that when we stand to sing, just think if you were in a football match and your team scored a goal, would you not jump and shout? Yes, and maybe even say amen. How about it? This morning we had the most unusual knock on the door early. Grandma! And I thought, wow, which of my grandchildren is that? They don't just come knocking on our door. But do you know they'd come all the way from the Wirral because there was a netball match starting at 8 o'clock this morning at the school, Bridgewater School. And they were going to be there, and then they came and dropped in afterwards. They were so delighted because their team had won. So we are on the winning team and on the winning side. And shouldn't we be really praising the Lord? And let's do that if this thing works this morning.